We've got a lot of ground to cover, so I'm just going to jump right into it. Recently, a behind-the-scenes video was released that goes over a ton of new footage we haven't seen before for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The first words we hear are from Claire asking, "Do you remember the first time you saw a dinosaur?" This question is asked while looking at a giant mansion, which is believed to be Lockwood Manor. We then get various shots of large elaborate practical effects that have been created for the new movie, with various members of the crew decorating the teeth of the Tyrannosaur with slime and drool for added realism. The character of Lucy also seems to be introduced to us in this short video, in a scene in which the young girl plays with the Tyrannosaurus Rex toy inside of the mansion. We're still unclear as to what her role could possibly be, but she does show up later in the video as well. After this, we're treated to the eye-opening of an unknown dinosaur that I think may actually be the Indoraptor, which also seems to be popping up later in the video. The destroyed monorail and ruins of Jurassic World are the next things we see, and this footage looks like it's actually going to be used in the final film itself. Vehicles are beginning construction, and Chris Pratt lets us know that the next chapter of the Jurassic saga is about to unfold. Vehicles are being designed again. Finally! There hasn't been any cool vehicles made for the series since The Lost World. I know they did some stuff for Jurassic World, but come on, the Mercedes-Benz, the RV. Oh, they're making vehicles again. I'm so happy. Speaking of these vehicles, we actually see them drive by the carcass of an old ankylosaur that seems to have died in between the events of the 4th and 5th movie. We're told that this movie is going to be taking both dinosaurs and the Jurassic series to places it's never gone before. And they show us this by actually having footage they've shot for the film that depicts the island getting blown up. And they're blowing everything up on Isla Nublar. There doesn't look like there's going to be anything left, actually. Owen, Grady, and Franklin seem to have to chase a truck before the explosion, or a dinosaur, overtakes them, and just barely end up making it in a sweet jump. Now we finally get a better look at the dinosaur in the museum we've been talking about so much. It looks like it could possibly be a Concavenator, but it's still a bit obscured. Bayona is introduced as the new director, and in my opinion, this is fantastic, as all of my thoughts on how he would approach a Jurassic sequel seem to be coming true. His work is extremely good, and the man has yet to make a bad movie, and his work is usually hailed as Oscar-worthy. This film is darker. It's noticeably taking a tonal shift closer to that of The Lost World, and it's really getting me excited. Bayona states that he loves playing with suspense, and we get a glimpse of some of this with Grady holding on to Lucy on top of a building. I have no idea what this is all about, but it reminds me of the movie The Relic from a long time ago. You guys remember The Relic? Yeah? I don't even remember what it was about. Grady is seen going for a slightly open door before it's forcibly shut in front of him, and Claire, Lucy, and Owen all enter the Lockwood Manor while observing a dead man on the ground, who instantly gets pulled behind something by a carnivorous dinosaur in what looks like a truly suspenseful scene. Next, we get an unmistakably alien vibe, with a screen indicating movement down within what looks like a tunnel, and the character Franklin is hilariously asking if it's the T-Rex over and over again, before lava falls down behind our protagonist and the Baryonyx makes its presence known by roaring at the two humans. This leads into Franklin giving a pretty hysterical scream, and it looks like the darker elements of the movie are going to be lightened up a bit with this character for the sake of comedic relief. I think the reason they're doing this is to make sure children aren't too terrified of everything that's going on. And let's be honest, kids are going to make up a big part of the audience for any Jurassic Park movie, so I can see why this was employed. And honestly, I thought it was pretty funny when I saw it, so no complaints here. Chris Pratt's usual hijinks are put on display, and Dr. Wu, as well as Benjamin Lockwood, can be seen in this portion of the teaser. Daniela Pineda also is shown, and she's looking like she's with Claire and Owen on this adventure, so I'm sure we'll get to know her good and well. Wu still seems to be at work in a laboratory of some sort, but directly after he's teased, a huge reveal comes when they show off Jeff Goldblum's Ian Malcolm. It looks like the chaotician is in a court hearing somewhere, and he utters just a few words that had me smiling the minute he spoke. "Here I am, talking about dinosaurs again," Malcolm states, the sly irony and contempt for what genetic manipulation has created being put on display. And then we get to see some dinosaurs. The Carnotaurus is now confirmed for the new movie. It's got a look very reminiscent of toys and depictions of the dinosaur in Jurassic Park's past, but I can only hope it will get an epic scene similar to that of what's shown in Crichton's second book. We see Blue, we see Rexy, and we see what looks like the Baryonyx, or a Suchomimus as well. The animatronic effects they're using in this film actually look really good, and I'm happy to say that I'm ecstatic about how many scenes they will have in the new movie, especially with with a Tyrannosaurus in blue. Blue is featured extensively in the footage shown for this teaser, and nearly every shot of her is either puppetry or some animatronic form. The jaws of the Tyrannosaurus open, giving us a grand look at the hard work they've put into these animals. And then we are greeted to more footage, with Owen alone on Nublar looking up at a canopy of trees. Several scenes being shot for this film show off a more overgrown and run-down version of the Nublar jungle, and it even looks like they're alluding to the imagery of Dieter Stark's death with a small creek that's featured here. Baryonyx states that the challenge with doing a sequel is finding the balance of delivering what people expect as well as doing something fresh and new. And it totally looks like we're going to be getting the best of both worlds here. Blue then reveals herself to Owen in the wilds of the island by jumping onto an overturned vehicle that I actually believe will be the old Ford Explorer from the original Jurassic Park movie. We're greeted again with the now famous Run teaser, and Trevorrow states that this film will be very different than the last entries, as it's focusing on more of a horror vibe and one that will feature a lot of suspense. What looks like an elevator full of suits seems to be getting attacked by something in a shot that happens directly before the image of Chris Pratt firing an automatic weapon is teased. Looks like we're going to be getting a lot of action in this movie too, as several scenes depicting explosions around Indiana Jones style trucks, and cars being flipped by no doubt scary dinosaurs are shown with humans in raincoats similar to Muldoon and Ellie from the first movie. Bryce Dallas Howard gives a very terrified look as the water around a gyrosphere she's in builds up around her, and someone appears to dive in to rescue her during an elaborate water attack sequence. It really looks like the cast and crew of this film are having a blast making this thing, and it's really showing me how much dedication and love they put into this movie. Even though The Lost World is a clear inspiration for this film, I'm seeing a lot of stuff that looks genuinely new, and honestly, this is the sequel I've been waiting 20 years to see. The final shot I want to talk about involves the Indoraptor. This thing is just a bit smaller than the Indominus actually, and I thought it would be way smaller. Now, I actually heard someone state that they think that this is Roland Timbo being roared at by the beast, but due to the fact that Pete Postlewaite has passed, I seriously doubt that they would recast a role or even write Roland into the story now that the actor is no longer with us. He truly was a masterclass talent and an excellent human being, and I don't think they would go the route of having him in the movie unless Pete was actually going to come back. But this could very well be a similar character to the Big Game Hunter. Baby Blue and Rexy are teased one final time before the teaser is shown once again, and I'm not going to lie, I'm really pumped to see this movie. So many things they've revealed in such a short time span, and we still know so little about what the movie is going to ultimately entail. I'm extremely interested to see what Malcolm's role in all of this will be, as the character seems to be just as sarcastic and honestly pissed at InGen and other genetics companies for doing this sort of thing. The Carnotaurus and Baryonyx are both looking great, and I'm really digging the visuals we're getting here. Bayona is really crafting something that will be cinematically beautiful as well as dark, and it will definitely have the feel of something like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade meets Lost World. In case you were wondering, this gets 2 thumbs up from me. I'm extremely curious to hear what all of you have to say about the new footage released for the movie, and I'm eager to read all of your responses in the comments down below. What was your favorite parts of this behind the scenes footage? Now, I want to thank all of you for watching the video. If you enjoyed what you've seen, I'd appreciate the like and hope you consider subscribing so that you can see me again. I go over everything Jurassic on the channel as well as some other films every once in a while I think you guys will enjoy. From the films to the novels, comic books, and video games, I love to talk about it. And if you really can't get enough of seeing me, then clicking on the bell will give you notifications as soon as I upload new content. Again, thanks for talking Jurassic with me, guys. It seriously means a lot. As always, stay cool and take it easy.